aware that there was a meeting of the Board of Directors of Celestial Cinema on January 15th?
Yes.
Did you participate in the January 15th meeting?
What does he mean by participate? Does he mean, was I there, or did I speak up? I was there, but I didn't say anything. Oh, well.
No.
Before that meeting, did you review the briefing materials that are marked as Exhibit 31?
Well, I did check over those materials, but I didn't really actually review them.
No, I didn't.
At any time, did you see an audit report on the production expenses?
I remember seeing a financial report. That's what tipped us off to the overruns. But I don't think it was an audit report.
No, I didn't.
Every one of those questions could have been answered in at least two different ways, depending on what the lawyer meant by a key word. But instead of asking for an explanation, the witness chose to interpret those key words for himself. Then, he provided answers to the questions he thought he was being asked. He may have saved himself a few awkward moments at his deposition, but we'll see how he bought himself some serious problems later, while being cross-examined at the trial.
Mr. Brandt, when your lawyer questioned you just now on direct examination, you said you were at the January 15th board meeting, that the board discussed a financial report on the production, that they instructed you to get on top of the cost overruns at that time, but that by then the damage had been done.
That's correct.
But at your deposition in this case, were you not asked the following questions, and did you not give the following answers? Page 165. Question: are you aware that there was a meeting of the Board of Directors of Celestial Cinema on January 15th? Answer: yes. Question: did you participate in the January 15th meeting? Answer: no. Question: before that meeting, did you review the briefing materials that were marked Exhibit 31? Answer: no, I didn't. Question: at any time, did you see an audit report on the production expenses? Answer: no, I didn't. Were you not, in fact, asked those questions, Mr. Brandt? And did you not, in fact, give those answers?
Yes, I did, but
Thank you, Mr. Brandt. No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Brandt should have exercised his right to interrogate the interrogator at his deposition. He could easily have saved himself the embarrassment you just saw if he had asked for a clearer question before he committed himself to an answer. A different witness, who had been better prepared, would have made sure he understood what was being asked. Let's take a look at what should have happened at that deposition.
You are aware that there was a meeting of the Board of Directors of Celestial Cinema on January 15.
Yes.
Did you participate in that meeting?
What exactly does he mean by participate? What do you mean by participate?
Did you take part? Did you speak up?
No, I didn't say anything at the meeting.
But you were there.
Oh, yes.
Before that meeting, did you review the briefing materials marked as Exhibit 31?
Review. What does review mean? What do you mean by review?
Did you read them all thoroughly?
No, I didn't read them thoroughly.
Did you look at them at all?
Oh, yes, I did.
Never be afraid to ask. And while we're on the subject, there are a number of things you should ask your own lawyer before the deposition. Be sure to bring to his attention any areas that are troubling you, or which you think could be damaging to you or to your company. If you don't get your lawyer's advice in advance, it will be a lot harder for him to help you. You should also ask your lawyer how he wants to interact with you during the deposition. For example, what does he want you to do if you need his advice in the middle of the questioning? The lesson of this sequence is simple. A careful witness always asks. Ask the other lawyer for a question you can understand while you're at the deposition. And ask your own lawyer to clear up any points that trouble you before the deposition. We've gone over a lot of ground, but there's still a few points left to cover. And we've saved the most important point for last. Always be honest. You'll be under oath at your deposition, and you'll be swearing to the truth of everything you say. You must testify honestly, and you must never try to fill in things that you think might have happened, or add things that you think you ought to say to make your testimony sound better. Never be afraid to say that you don't know, or that you don't remember. If you're asked a question and you don't know the answer, from your own knowledge, you must say, "I don't know." Take our next and final witness. He's the chief engineer for a small manufacturing firm that is suing a European company for stealing its trade secrets. Our witness has to try hard to remember who said what to whom at a meeting held several years ago. Unfortunately, he doesn't know that more witnesses get in trouble for guessing at answers or filling in gaps in their memory than for any other reason.
These trade secrets are worth how much, Mr. Atwood?
About $5 million.
And you say that someone from my client admitted that these trade secrets were the property of your company?
That's right.
And who was it who admitted this?
Mr. Gruber, Bonhoeff's vice president for manufacturing.
Are you quite sure that he said that these so-called secrets belonged to your company?
Oh, yes, quite sure.
Where exactly did Mr. Gruber say this?
At a meeting in my office in Princeton.
And when was this alleged meeting?
You know, it's been almost 3 years, and I just can't remember for sure when that meeting took place. If I say I don't know, she'll make it sound like I just don't know what I'm talking about. Well, it must have been in September, because I remember it was right after the plant closed for vacation. Of course, it must have been in September.
It was in September.
Mr. Atwood just guessed about when the meeting took place at his deposition. And now he's going to be cross-examined at trial.
This agreement is worth about $5 million to you and your company, isn't it, Mr. Atwood?
Yes, I guess it is.
And you're positive that Mr. Gruber said that the trade secrets belonged to your company, and not merely that he understood that you felt that way?
Absolutely.
You wouldn't just be filling in your memory a little bit because it's worth $5 million to you.
No, of course not.
And Mr. Gruber allegedly made this admission during a meeting held at your office.
That's right.
And when did you have that meeting with Mr. Gruber?
That was in September.
You are aware, aren't you, that Mr. Gruber is a citizen of Germany and that he cannot travel back and forth to this country without a passport?
Yes.
And that you have to have your passport stamped before you can be admitted to this country, right?
I suppose so.
I show you Exhibit 49, the passport of Mr. Gruber during the period in question. Please, look through the passport for me and confirm that Mr. Gruber did not enter this country in September, and that he was not here in July or August, and that, as a matter of fact, he wasn't here in October or November either. Isn't that right?
Yes.
So, when you said you had a meeting with Mr. Gruber in September, you were filling in to help your company get that $5 million.
I must have just been mistaken, that's all.
And when you say that you're sure that Mr. Gruber admitted that the trade secrets belonged to your company, and not that he knew that you just always felt that way, you aren't just filling in there, too, are you?
Oh, no.
Oh, so what you're telling me is that you were filling in about when the meeting happened, but not about what happened at the meeting?
I don't think I can answer that.
No further questions, Your Honor.
That's what can happen when you make things up. If Mr. Atwood had given the honest answer that he simply did not remember when the meeting took place, what you've just seen would never have happened to him. If you don't know something, or you don't remember, say so. Never guess or fill in when you're under oath. If you only testify as to what you know personally, you'll never get tripped up. It might have seemed at the beginning of this program that the opposing counsel had all the odds stacked in his favor. But you've seen that there are several things that you can do to even up those odds. Never volunteer. Answer only the question put to you, and keep your answers short and direct. Watch out for the tricky question. Listen hard, then pause before you answer to give your lawyer time to object. When in doubt, ask. Interrogate the interrogator to get a clearer, fairer question, and ask your own lawyer to clear up anything you don't understand. Beware the foibles of memory. Honesty is always the best policy. Don't ever be afraid to say you don't know or you don't remember. Of all we've shown you, the most important point is this: always pause before you answer. Particularly if you start to feel nervous at your deposition, pausing before you answer will help you to stay calm and in control. You've seen the general kinds of mistakes that most people make, and you've seen how you can avoid them. Once you and your lawyer review the specifics of your case, you should do just fine in your deposition. Good luck.